funny thing happened on the way to life skills class. So, first, I'd like to thank everybody who showed such an interest. However, about 2 years ago, I had a catastrophic loss on all levels, really. So, I'm just now getting back to things. I have spent the last 2 years listening and sitting on this side of the camera, listening to input and what's been going on in the world, and I just couldn't stand it anymore. So, I've decided that for me to be true to myself, then I have a few things I need to say. One of which I would like to throw out. Half of y'all aren't going to like what I have to say. You're not going to agree with me, and if you're one of those that likes to bitch, moan, and groan, then move on, go ahead and swipe away and leave. But the other half of the population worldwide, I would like to invite you to join me for a moment, because I see things now differently at this point in my life that I feel strongly need to be shared with the rest of the world. And with that being said, life skills, before I get started, life skills is free. I will not be teaching a life skills class. I'll be offering all of that free online, and I hope you all benefit from it. I'll also be offering questions, like go ahead and ask me any question you want, and I will do my very best to walk through and answer. But I am I'm calling forth the people that are more interested in a plan of correction, meaning people that think, people that problem solve, people that are critical thinkers, that would like to once and for all solve some of the problems that we're all facing today. And for us to do that, we're going to have to focus on the plan of correction, not the bitching, moaning, and groaning about it all. Now, the biggest issue I think that needs to be addressed today, because it's so timely, is one of accountability and responsibility. In my career, anytime there was an outcry, we as professionals had to decide immediately whether there was immediate jeopardy. And immediate jeopardy is twofold. The first part of immediate jeopardy is that particular person or child who's making an outcry, are they in immediate jeopardy of being harmed by the person in which they're accusing of harming them? And the second part of immediate jeopardy is there anybody else that might be in harm's way right now based on the outcry? Now, our tendency is to play judge and jury. That's why we like those crime TVs. That's why we like to watch, Criminal Minds, because we like to sit back and go, oh, they did it, they didn't do it, or how horrific, or oh my goodness. It's like stopping and watch a train wreck or a car wreck, because we are people that need to know. We're inquisitive by nature. But with that said, so when they say do not judge, we all play judge and jury constantly throughout our lives. Now, there are people that are hired to play judge and jury, not just to play one, but to be one, to actually do their job. There's people that are required to, when they hear something and it is a violation of the laws that are put down by the people, that to enforce the law. So over the years, I've often wondered, why is it that we still have problems that have been there from the beginning of time? And why is it that we're still grappling with these? Surely somebody has thought it through and worked out how to fix it. And then you find that certain things weren't meant to be fixed. Certain things are flawed by design because somebody's making a shit ton of money to have it flawed. So then I was thinking, well, my goodness, this is America, and why is it that we can't fix things that are broken? And so we have to ask ourselves, what are we really doing to do that? And so I started wondering, where are those people? Because I'm coming out of retirement. And as you can see, my catastrophic reaction has left me unable to do a lot of the things that I used to do my entire life. I'm a mover and a shaker and a doer and a POC person, and I really can't stand bitching, moaning, and groaning past, I don't like this, and how do we fix it and change it? There's two areas that I have focused on right now. The one being called the Earthly Collective, already formed a committee, and anyone interested in that, and that's to end world hunger. It's ridiculous that human beings are hungry. It's just ridiculous. So I would like to be a part of that brainstorming committee, a think tank, people that are setting a plan of correction, and then a worldwide movement to end world hunger. So I'm a part of that. So anyone really interested in that area, please contact me immediately. The second one is, believe it or not, the one that's going to upset many people, and that is in slavery. And I do mean in slavery. Now, I have some very wise people in my life that have said, oh my gosh, don't be saying the word slavery, because that's going to piss off a lot of people, because slavery is a term that, some people use to describe their particular plight in life. And the way I see it in my career, slavery is when another human being loses their rights to make choices, to decide, to dream, to figure out what they want to do in their life, to answer the fundamental question, which is, I need, I want, I desire, I deserve. If you don't have the right to ask yourself those questions because your choices and your day-to-day operation belongs to somebody else, and you are set forth to serve their needs and put yours on a back burner like they do not exist, that's slavery. And under the auspice of slavery throughout time, we have picked people that, of various colors, shapes, sizes, genders. We have picked people of different religions. But I'm looking around these days and I'm listening to a lot of the needs that people voice to me, and I'm thinking, well, good grief, are you somebody's property? Because if you're somebody's property, that would imply slavery. If you're not their property, that implies that you have a choice. So we need to revisit a few things. Are children parents' property in the sense that they could be bought and sold whenever they want, to have sexual contact whenever the property owner decides, to be tortured, to be maimed, to be beaten, to be treated kindly? Are these the choices of the master, or are children more our responsibility and we are accountable for them? Because our laws dictate that we can't go too far, and the same thing should apply to a lot of things, like wife. Back in the day, we were held responsible by our fathers and then given away to our husbands. Some people given dowries. Now there's this issue that we have with women and men, and the truth is, we need to rethink that. It's time to evolve away from slavery. Do women in the past, and I'm talking less than 25 years ago, we set out to do an etiquette class one time to help boys and girls learn how to act at a party. So when we did some research, all of a sudden I find this book, and it's a book etiquette class for women, and it said you have to pick and choose who your husband's going to be, because it depends on your life, depends on that. Do you want to be a doctor's wife? Do you want to be a lawyer's wife? Do you want to be a construction person's wife? And I was like, now wait a minute. Where is the chapter that says what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a lawyer? Do you want to be a construction worker? These are choices. So those days of yielding our vote to our spouse, our husband, what? Seriously? Because we have to ask some fundamental questions. Do you believe every single person walking the face of the earth right now needs to ask a fundamental question? Hello, Gouda. And that question would be, are we going to enslave people? And what people today are we going to enslave? Is it going to be women? Is it going to be the purple people? Are we going to go for a certain religion? Because if it's walking like a duck and it's talking like a duck, then it's a duck. Therefore, right now, we say that slavery's been abolished. We fought a civil war to abolish slavery. Really? Then why do we have certain things called human trafficking? Because isn't that a fancy way of calling current slavery? Men and women, boys and girls are being abducted off of the street and sold, forced to have sex, forced to have children, bit tortured, beaten, murdered, maimed. And we're just like calling that something else? Biggest cause of death for women between 18 and 48 is men. We decided that no person, human being, would ever be bought, sold, and treated that way. And we abolished slavery. So now I'm looking for like-minded people to sit and let's really think this through. Because, for example, what's happening right now, there's been massive outcries by thousands of children and women and men boys and girls, that terrible things happen to them, and we have people in positions of authority that we have either elected you or hired you to do your job. You need to go do your job, and it does not matter who that person is. It does not matter how many of them hold high offices or even the highest office in the land. If they're out there participating in slavery, if they're out there hurting our children, if they're out there maiming, raping, brutally attacking and murdering and cannibalizing, we need to put an end to that. Because when you're out there working on the biggest life skills that I could possibly teach anybody, the first thing that I always teach in life skills is, do I deserve to be free? To think and choose and dream and be whatever it is that I choose to be? Or am I property that should be decided by somebody else what I should do so I can better serve them? Because it's time to evolve as humanity. This is the age of humanity. This is the voice that has been crawling out of me for 2 years watching this BS go down. I would scream at the computer like, really, F off. All the way to that, like the comedian said, to the top of the F off mountain. I'm sick of it. I'm ready to connect, and I can't retire. I can't retire because our system is not set up for me to medically retire. So I'm not looking for a job. I need speaking engagements that actually get paid instead of doing free, because I've always done free. And I would like to talk about all of this. And I need paid gigs. Any business that needs help to run better. I've business for 30 years. I'd be happy to tell you all about the mistakes that I made so that you don't make them. And I would be happy to help you run a better show. There's so many businesses out there that need to be opened to fix what's currently broken. Greed's running everything. If you found yourself saying, well, I'm going to get mine before they get me, or everything and always, and it's never going to change, you're probably not the one that needs to contact me. I need the people that are like, let's do this. This is crazy. Keep in mind, we're in a democracy. And I love that. Because in a democracy, our laws are, the course of everything that we do is a big reflection of who we are. Right now, it reflects a whole lot of a very few people trying to get all that they want and using the rest of us in a certain way. And it's time for us to take that power back. It's about the masses. It is truly not about the few. If we're trying to take down the few that are getting rich off of the suffering of many, it's going to take us to do that. So if you're out there screaming, they need to fix it, and where are they, and why aren't they? Hold people accountable and responsible for the jobs in which they've been elected or hired to be and do. And do your part as well. The next 24 hours, ask yourself, what kind of person? What do you deserve? What do you desire? What do you believe? And are you going to participate or not? And that's it. More to come later. Thank you, and love and light to all.